Hello and welcome back to Love with Intelligence. Here we talk about all things relationships and dating so you're able to enjoy real, honest, and genuine love that lasts. Before we begin, if you haven't already, go ahead, click the subscribe button, click the bell so you are notified as and when we release our next videos. Now, let's dive in. So today we are going to be diving into the three core elements of creating a healthy, loving, long-lasting relationship. Now, I truly believe after all the research I've done, after all the years I've spent in this industry, I've worked with over 500 people. I've spoken to probably over 3,000 people about their relationships and how to improve them. Now, I truly believe that it comes down to these three core elements that we're going to be talking about today. But before I do, I just want you to let go of all the different things that you have been told up until this moment. Whether it's, you need to follow the scripts of say these 10 things to make them fall in love with you, or whether you've been told that communication is the backbone to all great relationships. It's not, and I will explain why. Or even just a stupid mind game playing games where it's like don't text them back straight away or don't sleep on the first day, and just so many rules to create a genuine relationship because they're all rubbish, and I will share with you why. So let's begin with the first one. Now, the first thing we're going to be talking about is empathy. Now, you're probably thinking, Lily, why empathy? Well, there's so many different reasons why. I mentioned that communication doesn't really matter when it comes to a relationship. It's because it's the difference between saying words and meaning the words. Empathy is your ability to be able to understand what you're feeling, but also what other people are feeling too. And it will drive your behavior in a relationship as it does for your partner. So if you're able to meet with someone who's got a high level of empathy, you're more likely to create a deeper connection, higher levels of intimacy, and more longevity when it comes to your relationship because you're creating a true connection. Now, I mentioned about communication. Okay. Communication is great, but have you ever had someone say to you the word sorry and you just knew they did not mean sorry, they didn't mean the words that they were sharing? Well, how does that feel? Does it matter what words they use or how they say it when you know that they don't mean it? This is why communication doesn't really matter. But empathy does, because empathy creates the intention behind the actions of their behavior or behind the words that they are sharing. And with someone with high levels of empathy, they're more likely to be more affectionate, more open, more comfortable with emotions, and more connected to being able to build a healthier, loving relationship with you. Now, there's a few different ways to be able to spot empathy. And one of the first ones is they look to understand you as a person. They're looking to create a deep relationship with you. It's not the surface level, chit chat and focusing on attraction and chemistry and all those things, which can be great, but often if you're not looking for the right things, it can be short-lived. You want to be looking at who are they as a person. You want to feel like they're trying to get to know you and understand how your mind works and what's important to you and all these different things, because that is the substance to your relationship. So notice also how they care about your emotional needs. If you're sharing something vulnerable, are they creating space for that? Are they validating your emotions, or are they criticizing? Because this is the difference between conditional and unconditional love. Conditional love is I will love you as long as you're doing the things that I like. If you don't do things that I like, I'm going to give you the silent treatment. I'm going to do things to show you that I don't like your behavior, and I'm going to weaponize the relationship to gain control. Well, if you're creating control or you're trying to change someone, that's not what love is. Whereas unconditional love, which can only be created with someone with good levels of empathy, is I love and accept you as you are. I love every aspect about your personality, about what you believe in, and I would not change you. Because when you get to that level in a relationship, when you feel that about a person, and that can be very early on in a relationship, you don't have to worry about that person's intentions. You don't have to worry about that person's agenda. You don't have to worry about them withholding affection or withholding love, like a lot of narcissistic relationships can do. You know that that's always going to be there. So it's understanding that unconditional love is being loved for who you are and you're being able to love them for who they are. And more importantly, you can trust them even if you're not around them because you understand who they are, you understand their intentions, and it creates safety within the relationship. Number two, compatibility. Now, compatibility is super important, especially when you're looking for a long-term relationship. This is literally the difference between, having a short-term fling or a long-term relationship when you get this right. So, what's important when it comes to compatibility? It's your beliefs, it's your values, it's your aligned goals of what a relationship is and what you're wanting out of a relationship. Are you wanting more of an exclusive relationship? Are you wanting to get married? Are you wanting children? Are you prioritizing your careers? Do you want to travel as a couple? Do you want to do things on your own? It's having a look at all these different things and having a look at whether you're both aligned. Because the truth is, it's not bad or it's not good if you're both aligned or not aligned on things. It doesn't mean anything about you as people. It just means you might be more compatible with someone else or might be more compatible with that person. If you're looking to understand more about compatibility, I go into this in more detail in our Meet the One guide. And this literally goes through all the areas that you need to consider when it comes to meeting the right partner. So I will put that in the description for you so you can go ahead, download that so you know exactly what you are looking for when it comes to meeting someone who is compatible. And in that guide, we also go into how to potentially meet someone and recognize someone who is aligned and compatible with you. Last but not least is independence. And you're probably thinking, Lily, what has independence got to do with a relationship? Well, actually, in terms of a healthy relationship, it's got everything to do with it. Because independence is coming back to how committed are you to you? How committed are you to being you? How comfortable are you in your own skin? How comfortable are you living your truth? How committed are you to that? And this is super important because if you are a people pleaser and you only focus on sharing things that mean that you are going to be liked, people are never really going to get to know you. People are never going to get to understand you. And if you think, oh, actually, this is me and I'm a bit of a people pleaser and I only share things and I'm a bit of a social chameleon, I used to be that too. People don't get to know who you are and it can feel really difficult. So it means that when you go out in the dating world, you're not going to connect with the right kind of people because they can't connect with you. They don't understand who you are because you're only aligning to them. And that means that the conversations, you don't get the true depth that you really desire to create that intimacy, to create that commitment, to create that trust. So and the funny thing is, often trust is often created with consistency, but it's also created with disagreements too. How do you both honor and respect each other during a disagreement? How are you understanding each other? Because true levels of empathy and emotional intelligence will mean that you can disagree and you take the time to understand each other. You get curious about each other versus criticize. Criticize is really unhealthy. Being curious is really healthy and it creates intimacy, it creates trust, and it creates a connection. So if you notice, if you share something that doesn't align with someone and they're criticizing you, we'll also notice that that is conditional love. It means that they are trying to change you, trying to change your viewpoint, and they're not being respectful of you. Whereas when you're being respectful of each other and you're being curious about each other's views and you're asking questions and there's no judgment there, you've got more unconditional love. It's I respect your friendship or respect your relationship or our relationship. And I just want to know more. I want to understand you even more. Even though that they might not be my beliefs, I want to understand more. So, if you do have that tendency to be a bit of a social chameleon, I will explain why. And it can be because of childhood. It can be that your childhood, you were criticized for how you felt, what you believed in, or you were told off or told you were wrong. So, if you were told that you were too sensitive, whether you got told that you need to redo your homework several times and then the rubber comes out and you have to rewrite it out, if you were questioned for sharing your beliefs, or whether your parents had very strong opinions about certain things and you weren't allowed to deviate from that, this can cause you to be very aware of what other people think versus prioritizing what you think, what you feel, what you want. So if that's you, be aware of that. Let's talk about how you can start to build yourself up so you're able to have a healthy, long lasting relationship. Now, you need to focus on those three things: that empathy, that compatibility, that independence. And actually, truth be known, there's 11 elements in total that are worth considering. And I cover all of these in the free Love IQ assessment. This will literally go through all things that are really important that I have found from working with over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people and able to help people get the relationships that they truly desire. So go through that test, that assessment, because it will go through a number of things that you need to consider when it comes to being in the right place to actually attract the right partner for you. Because the truth is, real unconditional love is so important. It's so healing. It's safe. It's just so loving and so nurturing and so healing. And I want everyone to be able to experience that. Because the truth is, not everyone knows how to get the love that they deserve, but this is the first step for them to be aware of the steps that they need to take. So, check out the description. You will find the Love IQ assessment there. And for those of you that just want to step right in, just get to work, go and check out the Love IQ membership because, again, that goes through the different steps with different trainings, with different journal prompts, with different workbooks, even hypnotherapy, meditations, loads of different things, including a supportive community and also a place to ask me any questions that you have that will support you to be able to get the relationship that you truly desire. So, to summarize, the three important things: empathy, compatibility, independence. So if you have found this video, helpful, please give it a like. Please share it with people that you really love and care about who are also struggling with relationships and they want to have the best relationship. Because let's face it, everyone deserves love, but not everyone knows how to get it. So I shall leave it there. Bye for now, and thank you so much for watching.